Fast forward, you can watch channel so I say a politics avenue. Political source at Trinity because make headlines. Ni jambre need to be exomo. Ewa hanedium any ahobrosi mo meso say mo writing sim. Say a queen sima OSP na so ye na mdoko. Na me no kase Cecilia Dapaa and FBI akoka abekano a enya asem koto akwa na ni nyina ani say omo say kwadu a OSP edibo Cecilia Dapaa no eni nyina so bia wonye mfom so bia ene OSP say hwe sana moka me no kase wachechire enkrata foforo kra ede akwakodan yoko a omo esan ebeye hwemu na yahwe baby a susan ede body eko akodu
and we're starting from the office of the special prosecutor. Many people are sharing their opinions on the half-year report. Let's get into the details now. The office of the special prosecutor says after nearly 7 months of extensive investigation and a parallel inquiry by the FBI, no direct and immediate evidence of corruption was found in respect of seized funds and frozen bank accounts linked to former Minister of Sanitation and Water Resources Cecilia Dapaa and her associates. The OSP, however, says the money laundering probe is still active. This was contained in the prosecutor's half-year report.
It will be recorded that the office commenced an investigation in July 2023 in respect of suspected corruption and corruption-related offences regarding large amounts of money and other valuable items involving Cecilia Dapaa and her associates. The OSP, in its half-year report for 2025, says after nearly 7 months of extensive investigation and a parallel inquiry by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, in the United States, no direct and immediate evidence of corruption was found in respect of seized funds and frozen bank accounts linked to the accused person and her associates. The FBI OSP partnership came barely a day after lawyers of the former sanitation minister filed an affidavit at the Human Rights Division of the High Court seeking an interlocutory injunction on investigations being conducted by Ghana's OSP. The former Bantama MP had described as unfair, unreasonable, capricious, arbitrary, and ultra-virus the re-seizure of her monies and the refreezing of her accounts and property.
Right, so following the half-year report that was released, a few media houses and on social media, headlines have been couched. Many people are talking about it, and this has again drawn the attention of the OSP. They released yet another statement trying to clarify what they captured in their half-year report. Now, it says that the attention of the Office of the Special Prosecutor has been drawn to misleading reports on the findings regarding investigations involving Mrs. Cecilia Dapaa. Certain media outlets reported that the FBI found no evidence of corruption, while others claim that the FBI found no direct evidence of corruption. Some have gone further to publish that the FBI has cleared Madam Cecilia Dapaa. These reports are inaccurate and a mischievous representation of the OSP's half-year report, captured specifically in page 9, bullet 2.26. The findings were the result of investigations conducted by the OSP and a parallel aspect by the FBI at the instance of the OSP. So on your screen, you can see a specific quote from the Office of the Special Prosecutor, which says the report only stated that no direct and immediate evidence of corruption was found, not that there was no evidence at all or that Cecilia Dapaa was cleared. Let's try and see how all of this, brings clarity to what the OSP has been doing in the last few months. Martin Pebu is a private legal practitioner, has joined us on Zoom for a quick chat. Counsel, good evening and thank you for joining us.
Good evening, Dave. Evening.
Yes. Right. To start with, what is your understanding of what exactly the OSP is saying? On one hand, many said, oh, then it means Cecilia Dapaa is free or has no, is not tainted in any way, but the OSP has come out to say that no, there actually is something that the half-year report is being misrepresented. How do you understand this?
So, My understanding is that Cecilia Dapaa is a woman who was found with money and has not been able to explain the source of that money to the OSP. So it is still on record that when Cecilia Dapaa was asked about the source of that money, she said she was running 2 cosmetic businesses. OSP conducted investigations and it turned out those businesses didn't belong to her. Then at another point, she said the money, $800,000, belongs to her deceased brother, who was a shoemaker. No disrespect to shoemakers, all right? But later she saw that that one too was falling apart, so she recounted. So it can never be that OSC has found nothing against her. It will forever be that she could not explain the source of the money. So the fact that the case has not gone to court is a different question altogether. It's a different question altogether. So sometimes somebody can do something wrong, but it is difficult to prosecute the person. You may not be able to prosecute, but as it stands now, please, you can Google and pull out the OSP report. Cecilia Dapaa was asked, how did you get this money? She says it is cosmetic businesses too. She failed. So that is a key thing. So anybody who ever tells you, maybe if you say they have they've not found a crime, well, for now we can say yes, but in terms of ethics and in terms of source of income, against Article 286 of our Constitution, it says, Article 286 of our Constitution says, if we find you with money, which is not a loan, which is not your income, and which is not your inheritance, that money, that property shall be deemed to have been illegally acquired.
Right.
So by the Constitution of Ghana, Cecilia Dapaa illegally got that money. That's one. Let me just end 30 seconds on this point.
Right.
Number 2, OSP said they find suspected money laundering and structuring. So some months ago, OSP handed over the file to Raymond Acha, the executive director of Yoko. So Raymond Acha is currently doing the this investigation. Then number 3, we are in court fighting that the money laundering investigation should go on. So please, anybody who says there's nothing against Cecilia Dapaa should tell that to the Marines.
Counsel, I mean, in that exposition, you've answered a number of the questions I had, but let me also ask this. Does the findings of the FBI in this matter douse the expectation that many had, especially because the OSP's investigation gave an indication that they definitely were going to be more conclusive in their findings, but coming to say there was no clear evidence or the wording of their statement and the FBI backing or indirectly saying the same thing, does that water down the kind of expectation people had, or probably you had?
No, it doesn't. What is happening with the FBI is the same as what has happened with, OSC here. Let's break down some of the facts. FBI found, the lady, is it Cecilia Dapaa's husband's niece, the lady who was said to have brought money to them from America. She could not answer how she brought that money down. She could not. So maybe OSC needs to bring out another part that will expose what FBI found. When they asked the lady, how did you manage to bring this money from America? The story she gave did not check out. That story did not check out. So, but like I said, even though it didn't check out, it is not sufficient for corruption, but rather that is how it sounds in money laundering. And we all know Raymond Acha. Raymond Acha is going to be on this case, so he gets results. And Raymond Acha knows that if he doesn't get results on this matter, he won't sleep. Because me, as long as I'm alive, every day, I'm sure you will hear Cecilia Dapaa from my mouth. We will get to the bottom of this matter.
Right.
We will get to the bottom of this matter.
Martin Pebu, pleasure talking to you as always, Counsel. Thank you for your time. And clearly, as he has indicated, the OSP has forwarded a docket on this subject or this matter to Yoko. So fingers crossed, we'll see how it plays out in the coming days.
In more news tonight, the opposition New Patriotic Party NPP is demanding the police to swiftly arrest and prosecute perpetrators of violence that marred the Ablekuma North election rerun. National organizer Henry Nana Boakye, speaking after a meeting with the Election Security Task Force, said only prompt action by the police will restore the party's confidence in the security agencies.
The Electoral Commission set Tuesday, September 2, 2025, for the conduct of the by-election in the Akotia constituency. The seat became vacant following the death of Ernest Kumi, the Member of Parliament for the area. The Inspector General of Police, Christian Tete Yohunu, in an engagement with the Electoral Commission and political parties, assured that the police service is working to ensure a peaceful election.
There are things that we feel that we have to let all of us know so that we prepare the grounds for the elections. That's why the EC is also being the full light, the do's and don'ts, the conditions we have to follow. We are also here so that if there's any political party that feels that there's something that has to be done that is not yet done, we can all put our heads together to make sure that those things are done, and then we have these elections coming on very peacefully.
Speaking after the meeting, the NPP urged the police to take firm action against perpetrators of violence in the Ablekuma North election rerun, stressing that such accountability is crucial to restoring their confidence in the security services.
Assurances are built on confidence. If they want us to rely on these assurances, then they must work on what happened in Ablekuma North. For the New Patriotic Party, we are going to protect ourselves. The IGP says that he is going to make sure that this is going to be one of the most peaceful by-elections we've had in this country. But our concerns are still the fact that we have had some people who caused some mayhem in Ablekuma North. They are still walking free. They must make some arrests and they must put these guys before the law court. As we speak, we lack that requisite confidence in the Ghana police.
For the ruling NDC, it remains committed to the peace plan, but was concerned about what it described as possible attempts by the NPP to incite violence.
The NDC, we are committed to the peace plan, the process they've put in place, but we are mindful of the activity of our opponent who will come in there with dangerous weapons. You remember what happened at Ablekuma North? That triggered all this problem. And then yes, there was a pepper spray. So we're clear in our mind. The police have given it all the assurance.
Director of Electoral Services of the Electoral Commission, Dr. Benjamin Banobio, says the Commission is ready for a peaceful election.
We indicated that we are ready. As at now, we are going to start printing of ballots from tomorrow. Recruitment has already been done. We have procured all the materials required for the elections.
In more news tonight, the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association is demanding swift action from government following an attack on a nurse at the Ridge Hospital in Accra. The association has given authorities 48 hours to arrest the suspect, Ralph St. Williams, or risk asking their members to remove themselves from the work environment. Leadership of the association made this demand during a visit to the hospital where the assaulted nurse, Rejoice Bote, is currently receiving treatment.
The leadership of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, GRNMA, visited the Ridge Hospital on Tuesday, 19th of August 2025, following a disturbing incident involving a man identified as Ralph St. Williams and a nurse on duty. According to the nurse, Rejoice Bote, she was physically assaulted by Ralph St. Williams, resulting in severe body pain. She has since been admitted to the emergency ward of the hospital for treatment.
I did a pressure dressing for him. Okay. His finger that he said it was bleeding, it had bled. Okay. The blood had dried. Okay. So I just had to put a gauze on it so that we reassure him. He wasn't happy about it, so he took off the dressing I did for him. Okay. Then I approached him and I told him that I've done a dressing for you, so be patient. We have 2 trauma cases and other cases too are there. He wants us to leave them. He got angry and he started yes. So he did this to me. And then when he went out, I don't know where the guys came from. Most of the health workers saw them earlier, so They had flee. I didn't see them. And then they, from my back to my chest, and then they were just...
The Sector Minister of Health, Kwabena Minta Kando, visited the nurse on August 18, 2025, and assured her of the government's commitment for a thorough investigation. But the leadership of the Nurses and Midwives Association is not satisfied. They have issued a 48-hour ultimatum to the government to arrest the suspect or face possible action. General Secretary of the GNMA is Dr. David Tenkranchum.
We are asking government to arrest the guy immediately and the 8 accomplices. We were told there were about 50 guys that came, but those who laid their hands on the lady are about 8, including Ralph himself. And therefore, if he's not arrested within 48 hours, we shall advise ourselves. Oh, it's very simple. I mean, if nurses and midwives in Ghana say that they will advise themselves, I think that you don't need a soothsayer to know what we want to do, because we think that we are not safe.
The association says it will consider further action if the government fails to respond within the stated time frame.
I don't know at what material moment that the minister embraced the gentleman, but I'm told that it was after they had interaction with management, meaning that he has been adequately briefed about the perpetrators of this heinous crime. Yet he went about, embracing the gentleman. It's very unfortunate. Okay, because if you are not safe.
Let's now speak to Christian Malmhesse. He is a legal practitioner. Christian, thank you so much for your time. What legal actions can the affected health professionals as well as the hospital take against perpetrators?
Good evening and thanks for having me.
Hello, Christian. I was asking
yes,
what
if
legal...
you could come by with your question again.
Yes, what legal action can the healthcare professional who was assaulted as well as the hospital take against the perpetrators of the assault?
Yes, thank you. When it comes to assault, we have assault action to be taken in respect of assault in two folds. One, in the criminal setting, and then the other in the civil setting. Now, when it comes to the civil setting, we move in the area of law called law of tort, because law of tort deals with wrongs occasioned on the person, so that in that particular situation where the perpetrator occasioned the victim to apprehend the use of unlawful force, then that would suffice in it. Now, again, if you come to our Criminal Offences Act at 29, it also deals with that. If you look at section 86, 87, it deals with issues of assault, where the perpetrator unlawfully touches or causes annoyance and all of that to the victim, then we call it assault. Indeed, it does not even require the minister to cause a committee to look into this. This is an alleged assault. The nurse could take a legal action through civil means for compensation, or it is just a straight-in walking to the police to lodge a complaint against a known person who is identified as Ralph, or definitely if he's roped in, the other members of his group could be brought to the fore for investigations, and the conclusions thereof would mean that the gentleman could be arraigned before court for prosecution. And an assault is a misdemeanor, so the court could either give a fine or imprisonment or both. But it's a demeanor, basically meaning not a term of years, not a term of imprisonment for more than 3 years.
Now,
so
Christian,
I believe it is one that should not be bureaucratic, because a ministerial committee or the minister calling for a committee to look into this is bureaucracy. It's a criminal matter that the matter should be lodged at the complaint for investigations to be done by an inquisitorial officer. That is what the police is closed to do.
Now, Christian, we also saw there's been a press release from the Ghana Medical Association, and they are saying that the Minister of Health's open and friendly engagement with the lead suspects could also have a bearing on the case. Is that what you also see?
I mean, it should be deemed that the minister is a neutral person, and indeed, probably he might have some personal relationships. We all don't know, but for whatever it is, given the situation, they see it from a certain point of view that having gone through this pain, the minister is laughing with the gentleman. It might not even be related. It might be that they have some relation of a sort. But a more decisive decision would be that it need not go through bureaucracy. It should just be lodged at the police for the legal process to take place, not another bureaucracy. So they will see that justice is being carried out. And indeed, workmen or workwomen in that fold needs to work with peace, with protection. And indeed, the nurse can also...
We and some who team also our channel so I'm not so jemre ewa as an so what you know Eddie Adumbia Dominion, you ain't share my 9 signs some consumers of cry.